William, the market has been resilient despite all the bubble talk, but the uncertainty remains. So how are you counseling your high net worth clients when the market's doing well, but they're still nervous?
Sure, a lot of volatility this year, which has certainly affected people's psychology around the markets. At the end of the day, the earnings are still growing, which is one of the big reasons the market's going up. But with respect to individuals, always need to go back to what your goals look like, and of course your risk tolerance, and make sure that you're properly allocated between stocks, bonds, alternatives, real estate, these different things. Because ultimately, the only way to manage risk is to balance those risks. There's risks in doing anything that you do. So what we try to do at Sax is balance those different risks and look at different opportunities that may be out of favor right now, but could be swinging into favor as we move forward.
Well, you mentioned stocks and bonds, but I keep hearing about alternatives. Whenever an advisor comes in here, they want to talk about alternatives. Are you recommending them to your clients right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've seen a 20, 30-year trend of democratizing access to these types of investments, and they provide differentiated return streams. And something at this point where you're talking about private equity, private credit, infrastructure is very interesting to us. A lot of opportunities on the private side, and continue to allocate towards it.
But what about liquidity? Is there a particular type of vehicle that you prefer so that if something goes wrong, and it just might, they can get their money out?
Yeah, and frankly, what we plan for is illiquidity. So when we're going into these things, we need clients to understand this is not money you're going to access. This is money that you shouldn't be thinking about using. And you have to be able to make that commitment, whether that's 5 years, 7, 10, whatever the term of the opportunity is, you need to have in your head that you're not going to have access to this money. And we plan for that. We have other sources of liquidity if needed.
And traditionally, one of the big alternatives has been real estate. I know this is an area that you play in. What are your thoughts on real estate right now, either commercial or residential?
Yeah, it's obviously been a tough time with rates higher the last couple of years in the real estate market. And of course, with what's happened in the office market, the commercial side's been tough to own. Here in New York City, you've seen really a very strong revival here in Midtown and other parts of the city as well. And some really interesting opportunities arising because of that. And actually, even in the retail space, because there hasn't been very much built in the retail space really since 2008. If you've got good retail, it's very attractive and you can make quite good money on it. One of the things that we help folks out with is 1031 exchange vehicles. It's a great way to be able to invest in other types of real estate and maintain some tax deferral and some other benefits along with it.
And then finally, speaking of taxes, your firm, Sax Wealth Advisors, is actually owned by Sax LLP, which is a public accounting firm. How does this help you compete with other RIAs out there?
Yeah, it's really wonderful to have the resources that we have internally, and frankly, quite seamlessly can turn that over. Whether that's the not-for-profit group was speaking with someone just yesterday who needed some help with some tax filings for their not-for-profit, or something more on the high net worth individual side where we may be looking at any number of different tax needs. Having some folks literally down the hall from us creates a nice environment for our clients and are just a real breadth of resources for them.
All right, well, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Excellent, appreciate it. Thanks.